What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to our second edition of the Sooner Surge YouTube Live Softball Edition. We are here with you for about 30 minutes talking Sooner softball. So as we get people on here, we want you guys, the viewers, to comment about this Sooner softball team. Lots to talk about. You have the battle series this Wednesday night. Looks like it will happen. The weather's going to be much nicer, nice fall weather there at Marita Hines Stadium. So we'll get that going on Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Hope you bought your tickets. Good evening, James. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys on here. We're here just to talk Sooner softball, guys. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter the triathlon they had today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe lineup possibilities. The big question is who's going to play shortstop. So, yeah. Drop your comments in the chat and be a part of this YouTube Live and what's going on, guys.
I'm ready for some softball this week. It looks like weather's going to be great compared to last week, so I'm ready to see what this team has and see some of these new players. You know, you got the incoming freshmen, and I'm excited about Boomer, guys. Thanks for joining. Excited about these incoming freshmen. Also excited about the ones from the portal to see what OU has there. And especially excited to see some of this pitching, because if you look at the pitching staff, really only Nicole May and Kelly Maxwell, as Sooner fans, do we know a ton about. I mean, Kirsten Deal pitched some last year, but not a ton. And so, yeah, that's right. Horns down, James. We're still on a high after the OU football victory for sure.
Yeah, I think that the good thing about the fall battle series, guys, is we're probably going to see every pitcher. For sure, you're going to see every pitcher. Probably Wednesday night, you'll see every pitcher. And they got so many options from the right side to the left side to different types of pitches they throw. We've had several of the pitchers on our show, and they've talked about what a great job Coach Rocha does with the staff and what they've learned so far. So that's exciting. And I think one thing that you got to talk about with Sooner softball is something that happened today. They had the triathlon. And
over
guys,
the weekend.
We're trying to get the strength and conditioning guy on here, but hey, they're different. What they're doing in this softball team with the strength and conditioning is different than probably what you see across the country, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the shortstop position.
Yeah, I mean,
who are you leaning towards?
I'm a little towards Burrito.
Viewers, what do y'all think about that? What do you think, Alyssa Brito at shortstop? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that route or not, Braden. It's still up in the air, I think, probably through the battle series. I think through this fall ball, they'll kind of get more of an idea of – I mean, Patty's probably got an idea of what she wants to do, I'm sure. But it'll be interesting. I don't know which route they're going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, you got Brito could slide down from third. Avery Hodge is a option. James asked what the options are. One option would be Brito, James. Brito going from third to short. That's option one. If you do that, probably has Torres going to third base, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Second option would be, and these are in no particular order. You have the option of Avery Hodge starting shortstop. We know she's had experience there. She's definitely agile enough. She's got the quickness to play the position. Her bat isn't the greatest, so maybe she's improved in that area. Tiare Jennings sliding from second over to short would be an option. And then
one of the freshmen.
Yeah.
You could also go there.
You could go freshman. So they got options.
Yeah.
So,
They got options. I think there's only one option, though, that you only have to move one position and fill, and that's shortstop. And that's if you play either Avery Hodge or an incoming freshman. Any other one of the other options, you gotta fill two spots. You gotta have Jennings take shortstop and then somebody replace second, or you burrito, whatever. So I don't know. James says Jennings. So I don't know. I'd love to hear the viewers' comments on what they think.
There's no doubt Jennings can play shortstop. It's the wondering of if you want to also have to play a new second baseman when Jennings has been absolutely incredible at second base. And Jada Coleman, there's zero chance she's coming to shortstop. I know that was briefly talked about. Someone threw on Twitter. I just don't. when you got the best center fielder in the nation, maybe in the history of the game. She's not coming to shortstop. So, yeah, I look for it to be Hodge or Brito at shortstop, and I'd love to hear from the viewers what they think as well in that area. And here's another question for you guys. Starter on opening day probably is going to be Nicole May, but Mackenzie Donahue. That's funny. Is that what he's talking about? Mackenzie Donahue at Tennessee?
Yeah. She was
the future shortstop. She was going to be the future shortstop.
Yeah. Jeremy, you asked about pitching. And, yeah, Nicole May, Kelly Maxwell, I think those are your two kind of stalwarts there at that position. Now, Carly Keeney's a good pitcher. She really is. Transfer. You also got Peyton Monticelli. Monticelli doesn't have as much experience. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a mix of the young guns and the veterans. I think it's going to be kind of a mixture of it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see S.J. Jiren pitch.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch her. I really am.
Yeah, I look, Patty Gasso got pretty much whatever she wants, she's got there in the cupboard. The cupboard is full. Kirsten Deal, Ken says, and look, Kirsten Deal's elite, guys. Kirsten Deal is the real deal. And last year, as a true fresh, she got out of jams and tight situations. She really showed herself to be going to be an elite pitcher. I hope Deal gets an opportunity early and often. I definitely don't think it's something that she's going to just save or try to pitch sparingly. I think Kirsten Deal is going to get a lot of run. I really think Gasso has the option, like I said, to do whatever she wants there. There's so many options. I think early we're going to see, especially in this fall battle series, we're going to see, each pitcher maybe go 1 or 2 innings and see them all, see what every one of them's got against really elite batters too.
Yeah, and something that I'm going to be watching for on Wednesday night is maybe who comes out with that swagger on the mound, obviously, because a lot of talk has been who's going to maybe replace Jordy Ball. Now, no one is Jordy Ball. Jordy Ball is one of the best to ever do it already at this point in the game. She's that good. But I think it's for OU is who's going to maybe step up and be those second and third players behind that Nicole May, right? Obviously, we expect this to be a Kelly Maxwell. Is it going to be a Peyton Monticelli, a Carly Keeney, a Kirsten Deal? So it's kind of just like we're not really sure who it is yet.
Hey,
what?
I kind of think Nicole May. I kind of think she's going to have that dog in her this year. She's going to come out there.
Yeah.
Hey, she's going to step up, I think, and be like the one. I really do.
Hopefully, yeah.
Now, James says Kelly.
What I do like about the staff is, I know Ken said earlier that she's on the left side, Kirsten Deal. They have so many different types of pitchers, and they got multiple lefties. So that's great. Gringa, thrilled that OU's coming back to Puerto Vallarta again, and I probably mispronounced that, but that is exciting. Guys, if you saw the field in that, there's some good matchups in that and the Nutter Classic. There's some good matchups in that one.
Yeah, what's crazy, though, is they stayed away from Nebraska in both of those, which is crazy. I really would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, I know.
James says Kelly's going to come out with the attitude. She very well may come out with that. Well, she will against OSU, but
there's zero chance that Gasso does not throw her as a starter against OSU. And I just want to see Gajeski, his face when Kelly Maxwell may throw a no-no against him.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, she's going to be on a mission this year. I think this team, they've proven everything they can. So it's kind of like they're going to be playing with that pressure off their back. Obviously, with not having the winning streak, now their team is going to be pressure because they're Oklahoma and they're the best team. But I'm saying,
Jackson,
what?
Patty Gasso, in the post-game interview after they won their third straight national championship, all she could talk about was the immense pressure of the expectations. And listen, next year, it's even this coming year, it's even going to be upped even more and amped up more because this senior class, guys, is the best senior class probably in any sport in university history. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, that's true.
Are you talking about like in Oklahoma history or in college history?
I'll say it again for you, Jackson. This senior class is across the board better than any sport at the university in the history of the university.
Okay.
They've they've won 3 national championships.
It's ridiculous.
You cannot argue that, Jeremy. You're right.
James says it's true. Yeah.
You can't argue it. Hey, the guy mentioned earlier about the triathlon there, Leo. That triathlon video was awesome, and it looked like, now we're trying to investigate and see who the top 3 were, but it's for sure Brito 1, Jada 2. 3, it kind of looked like Pickering to me. I couldn't really tell.
I think it is.
I think it was.
It also
Cassidy
looked like
Pickering.
Carly Keeney, I thought.
I think it was Pickering. But-
Hey, that's kind of surprising, Burrito, though, winning the whole thing. I thought maybe Jada would get it. But
Yeah, I would have
Burrito,
more
man.
money on Jada Coleman too.
Hey, James asked how many seniors. Let's
All right,
go
let's
through
go
the
through
seniors. So,
Brito, May,
May,
Torres.
Torres,
Maxwell.
Coleman, Jennings,
Riley Boone.
Riley Boone,
Hanson.
That's 8 players.
I think there's 8 guys. I think there's 8 seniors. It's
Now there's
unbelievable.
only 3. Is it 3 that have won 3 straight?
Yes.
May,
May, Jennings, Coleman,
Hanson.
Yeah.
Hanson.
Brito. So is Brito, right?
What about
No.
Boone?
No. She was a transfer.
Boone,
Right?
I think so.
What's that?
I think Boone's won 3.
Yeah, Boone is. There should
Yeah,
be
Boone's
5.
won 3. I'm saying those 3. There's some that have never lost. Is what I'm saying. Like the ones that started as freshmen and then redshirt, they've never lost.
In the world, in the world, they've won
In the World
national
Series,
titles.
they've won 3 natties without losing the World Series.
I think, guys, something that's going to be interesting, in my opinion, this year, Kinsey Hansen is an absolute dog at catcher. We know that. But I think there's a possibility they're going to have to, see who can fill that. We know Riley Ludlam, right, came in out of the portal. She can catch. But for the future, and I know they got some recruits in that 2025 class where the number 1 catcher, I believe, came in 2020.
You also got 24, the Zakay sisters.
That's
24, Riley, the 24 is a catcher. So,
yeah.
and then you got Kendall Wells, 25, who's the number 1 catcher.
Hey, think about this, guys. You take a couple of, and look, Riley Boone, the 1 hole and the 9 hole they're going to be the same. Jada's going to lead off. Riley's going to come in at 9, I'm sure. You probably foresee, Brito, Jennings, Hanson being where they've been. And then you start to maybe have some options. But I'll tell you we've gone 13 minutes and almost 20 seconds, guys. We have not even mentioned Sydney Sanders. We've barely mentioned Riley Boone. This team is unbelievably deep. It's going to be hard for I want to see the young ones, the young athletes, but they're loaded. That's all you can say.
Hey, viewers, as you're watching this, drop your comments, drop your questions, and also love to hear your thoughts on this question. And you guys too, Braden and Jackson and Jeremy. Who leads this team in home runs this year?
Jada.
You say Jada? Jackson, who do you say?
Oof, that's tough.
I'm going with Brito.
Sydney Sanders. I'm going with Sydney Sanders.
I'm going
Wow,
Brito.
that's a shock one. I think Tiare Jennings is probably a very logical choice, but Torres, I promise you, Torres is going to go yard way more than she did last year. I mean, she's got a great
Sydney
bat.
Sanders.
Do what?
Sydney Sanders hit nukes at Arizona State, dude.
I agree.
She's ridiculous.
Hey, undefeated would be that's really the only way the season that would be textbook script written, Hollywood script written. But hey, one thing Gringa mentions here is Patty's not afraid to do that. Patty's done it in the past. She did it last year often. She would mix it up a little bit. I think that's a great thing because it keeps people on their toes. You don't get complacent in the lineup. It shows that every part of the lineup is important. And someone commented on an earlier video that we had put out maybe months ago, and the comment came through today. And we appreciate your comments, guys, and keep them coming. We got our supers turned on as well if you want to donate to that. But someone commented about in the lineup. Now I lost my train of thought here. But the comment had to do with how are parents not just griping about playing time? How are these athletes, parents, and how's there's no bickering? I tell you why, because it's the culture. It's unbelievable the culture that she's created there.
Yeah, and she will probably mix that lineup up some. I just don't know if they probably won't mix up 1 and 9 like you said. Everything else I think is on the table. And she will mix and match, I think, quite a bit.
And I think for the first half of the year, they'll be using a lot of different things just to see where players fit best. They kind of just trying to figure out maybe where certain players need to be in the order for them to perform their best, right? Because if you have Hanson in the 5-hole all year, let's say, that does not mean that she's the 5th best hitter on this team. That just means where she's the most comfortable, where she plays the best, right? And she's kind of like that second cleanup hitter, in which Hanson at any time, she is pretty much, she may be the best power hitter they have, but I don't think she'll lead the team in home runs, as I said. But it's just like Hanson, Jennings, Torres, Sanders. You can really put them anywhere in the order, and they're going to be successful. And that's why I think it allows for Patty Gasso to test out so many different options.
There's no weakness.
No.
Yeah, there's no weakness. And one thing they've been very, very fortunate of, if you look at over the last few years, is they haven't really had a whole lot of injuries, like big-time injuries. I know Hanson was down for a while.
That's the only game they lost
the year
last
before.
year. K9 didn't play.
Well, the year before last, she was down a little more. But what I'm saying is their star players have not really missed much time at all. And that's been huge. And I do think this year is different than the previous years because you are maybe going to see some more kind of, maybe you get a lead and you sit somebody because they got to see some of these other people play because they lose so much next year. They lose a ton.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why it comes down to them having the experience factor of just like getting so many of these young players this year in important, crucial situations so that so many other players outside of the people that are leaving, outside of the seniors, have that experience and are ready to step into a role and play in big-time situations.
Jay, hopefully you have some wood where you can knock on wood. As James said, don't jinx it. But B. Mosier here, thanks for the comment. Yeah, I agree. Why would you complain? Here's the other thing. Everyone that's come on this program, that's played for the university, that's on the team currently, they all talk about, even Peyton Monticelli talked about coming here when Wisconsin was her home, right? She grew up there. Her family's all there. Why did you leave your hometown? And she talked about the family, the culture, the fact that she is going to leave Norman, Oklahoma, a better person. And that's where the parents are going to say, hey, I don't care how much you play. Right now, we know that you're in the right spot because your future is way more important than that. And not to mention, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. How many rings?
Well, way too many to count, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And they definitely knew what they got into. Yeah. How long till a team tries to combat this and create a super team like we saw in the NBA? At some point, that's going to happen if OU continues to win. Now, I don't think people will be able to build a super team to defeat the, quote, evil empire that people are calling Norman, Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, it's a little different, though, because why would you not want to play? To do that, you would want to hate OU. And that's hard for players to do because the culture is so great. What are you going to hate about it? They win. It's a great family atmosphere. What is there to hate?
They're selling out every game.
It's more of like if you can't beat them, join them. That's more of what's going to happen. Because nobody's going to beat them, so they're going to join them, and that's what you're seeing, even from a crosstown rival.
Hey, I know no one wants to maybe has seen it, but Hunter's not on here, but I know he goes by it every day. But Love's Field, guys, it's the progress is being made. It's going to be the premier softball destination, and the amenities that they have, that they're going to have for the athletes, is unbelievable. It's second to none. It's unmatched. It is going to be done, James. It sounds like Josie said it was going to be done. Last picture I saw, they still don't have the sod down, but you can see the amenities and just how great it's going to be. The players have now toured it and seen it, so it's going to be great.
Hey, and I'm pretty excited about the freshman class coming in.
It's a great class.
Who are you most excited about, Braden?
Malloy.
Well,
Yeah.
she's not there till the next year.
She's 2020. She'll be in 2025. She's the
Yeah,
2024
she's not this
class.
year.
Pickering.
Mine.
Yeah. I'm Ella Parker. I'm excited for Ella Parker.
Ella Parker.
Is Maya Bland in this class?
Yes.
Yes.
That's who I'm most excited for. Is Maya
And then
Bland.
who's the one from Hawaii?
Nelson Maria.
Yeah. There's
Marina.
been talk maybe of,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So that's the four. They have four on this year's class, I believe. That's the four that they are. Ella Parker, in my opinion, is the one I expect to get the most playing time. Just my personal opinion. I have not talked to anyone about that, but that's what I kind of expect to see. What about you, our viewers? Who are you guys expecting maybe at that freshman class to stand out this year?
I think it's such a deep team. Like, I feel like you never feel like you can have more depth on a team than what OU continues to add each year. It's like the depth just keeps on stacking up at every single position. It's incredible. It's like you could go on and on and on. When some of the players that may barely even see the field for OU this upcoming season was starting on 98% of other teams in college softball.
Well, look at the last year's team. Who did they lose, guys? Jordy Ball.
Grace Lyons. Is that really all? They lost someone else.
Alex Storako.
Alex Storako.
Haley Lee.
Haley Lee.
We're missing.
Am I missing anybody?
The other Grace.
Grace Green.
Grace Green. Yeah, so they didn't lose a ton, is what I'm saying. Yeah,
I didn't mean anything by the other Grace. I'm not saying she's less than the other Grace, but
what are the seniors? Which goes pro?
Well, maybe all of them.
Yeah,
I think they all will. It's what they need to happen. Well, what needs to happen is the pro softball needs to. It's growing, but it needs to grow even more. There's a good niche for that. People like watching it. I really hope it continues to grow. I mean, I saw Lauren Chamberlain step down from that position that she had there as commissioner. I hope it continues to grow because it's a good product. I mean, the Spark last year is a good product. So,
and the sport of softball is just a growing sport nationally.
Oh yeah.
So it's something that I think will continue to grow.
And Erickson, she transferred. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And something, as you said, I just hope that really, like, we see pro softball continue to grow just because it's giving a lot of these female athletes the opportunity to perform at a professional level, to be on national television in front of thousands and millions of viewers, in which we see the views that college softball starting to get now, especially for some of the higher up teams, including Oklahoma. It's just incredible.
Yeah, going back to the triathlon guys. So I don't know if you noticed that, of course, they're giving medals out. It was a competition. Again, how do you make greatness? How do you develop greatness? You have competition on the daily. That is what they do in Norman, Oklahoma. It's constantly battling, competing, trying to push each other to be their best. And then you see that video come out today, and it's just another excellent example of why this team is the way they are, why they're so successful. This isn't rocket science. Yes, you have to have the talent, and they got it. They got pretty much all of it. but you also have to have the drive. You have to have the staff that encourages. They have it all. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is a great point, Green. I mean, yeah, when you're winning natties, look at Alabama. When they kept winning natties, what was happening? I mean, they were getting the best players. They still do. That's the thing. Patty's going to get the best players. The thing that really I take from Patty Gasso and why I think she's just such a good coach is when you have all that talent, it's hard to keep motivating. And when you're winning as much as they do, it's hard to be like, keep them motivated and challenged. And I think that's what she does very well. And you're right, Ken. Talent has to be coached. You can take the best players. Go look at some of the NBA teams that are formed, and they stink. I'm thinking the Brooklyn Nets. They thought they were going to win five championships when they got Durant, Kyrie Irving, and them. They couldn't coach it, right? You still have to coach it. And here's the thing: not only does Patty coach it, but guys, the talent is developed. From year to year, they get better and better. Even the best players coming in as freshmen, when they leave as seniors, they're better. They're even better. That's a great program. That's what that is.
I mean, isn't there a famous saying that says hard work beats talent, but talent doesn't beat hard work? So, I mean,
No, it's I think it's hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When talent doesn't work hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. Right?
Which freshman would start this year?
I would say, but Jeremy said, my pick would be Ella Parker.
She's not starting, though, I don't think.
I don't think any of them are going to start.
Hey, Mark is dead on with this comment. Oklahoma, the gymnastics program is unreal. I mean, it's right there. He is.
Dude,
I don't know.
Two dynasties.
I don't know if it's on the tails. I think it's right there with it. I mean, if you've seen the blueprint, I don't know, Mark, if you've seen the blueprint of what they're maybe trying to do, and I don't know that that's been officially said yet, with the basketball arena and then gymnastics, it is going to be elite if they can create what they're talking about in the blueprints of them. It's great. I also love this comment by Ken about don't forget love. Yeah, love is what she's about.
Has any of our viewers been to gymnastics meet? It's awesome to watch. It's awesome live. It really is. It's so fun. I would encourage, if you haven't been out there, watch it. I mean, it's really fun.
Hey, and you're talking about really, I know I can't remember who it was, Jay, that came on our podcast and talked about one of the amenities at Love's Field is going to be something for the players.
I think it may have been Chris Plank.
Do what? It may have been
Chris
about
Plank.
Well, they were talking about mental health. There's going to be like a place for the emotional side of it. And look, you talked about, someone brought up gymnastics. That is a high stress sport. You've seen it in the national areas, and the Sooner softball team is constantly has high pressure on them, and that's really across the board in any sport. Okay, but I just think that the way they've handled it with gymnastics and softball, it's second to none. And this question is Oklahoma versus Nebraska Porter Vallarta tournament. No, it's not going to happen.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Tone Loke. Appreciate you, man. Hey, it's not going to happen. That's already the OU schedule came out for the.
Yeah, who is it in that one?
It's Duke, Long Beach State. Trying to remember.
Then one other one that made the tournament last year.
Was it Washington? I think it's
Washington. Three out of the four teams were tournament teams.
Yeah, I think it was Washington
last year.
Yeah, I don't remember the opening game. I have to look it up. But they did not get Nebraska in that tournament or the Mary Nutter, which is so disappointing. I really
come on, give the viewers what they want. OU versus Jordy Ball. Come on.
OU, they open up the tournament versus Utah Valley.
Then
their second game is versus Duke. Their third game is versus Washington, and their last game is versus Long Beach State.
Yeah, so the last three are all against tournament teams. Hey, if they were to face Jordy Ball, it would be Nicole May versus Jordy Ball.
Dude, that game would have the viewership would be insane. The whole country would be watching it, dude.
What about Nugent?
She left.
She transferred. I think that's what he's saying is she left too.
Oh yeah, she was one of the others
she was
that
a
left.
transfer
I didn't know.
out. She transferred out.
Transferred out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that too. I think if it was OU versus Geordie Ball, you could fill a major stadium with that.
They could like fill.
It could
You
happen.
could get a ton of people to come watch that game.
Can you imagine if that's
They
the
could fill
final?
a football stadium.
If that's the College World Series final.
Oh my.
Hey, Ken, tennis. Yeah,
Sophie and
Tennessee.
Nugent went to Tennessee is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Guys, Tennessee is
They're good.
they're good.
Who? Hey, viewers, who would you put your money on right now being in the World Series? I think we all think OU is going to be there. So I
Stanford.
would already say I think it's Florida
Stanford.
State again.
Hey,
I think
predict a
Stanford
rematch.
with Kennedy. I think
Yeah.
it's Stanford with Kennedy.
guys,
I don't think Stanford's going to get there.
Sophia Nugent was pretty under. I don't know how I want under. She wasn't underappreciated in Norman, but she was better than I think people thought she was going to be.
Yeah, James
And
says
we haven't got
well.
we haven't gotten to see it yet. We probably will. She'll just be on the other side.
We got
We have
2 votes for
Stanford,
Clemson. Yeah, Clemson's good. Hey, they almost broke that streak for OU last year if it wasn't for Kenzie.
Yeah.
OU Tennessee, Ken says. I'm the only one thinking Florida State again. They had a good pitching staff, man.
Florida State's main pitcher is gone though, right?
They had a deep staff though.
What was the main girl's name? Golly, it's long name.
Sandercock.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah,
Sandercock.
she was good.
Yeah. I still think they got a really good coach. I think they're going to be back. I really do. I mean, I'm ready to get out of the Big 12. I'm ready to get over in the SEC.
Yes.
Hey, I'm ready to get over to the SEC for all sports, man.
Yeah, but I'm ready to have better competition in softball. The Big 12, I mean, let's face it. I mean, you got OSU and Texas. I mean, who else are you really that's that
And
great?
OSU.
What?
I don't know what they're.
What about Gajeski going back on his comments again?
He's like every other Oklahoma State head coach there is, dude. They all sound the same, just like Mike Gundy. If you know, you know.
Hey, the schedule has not been released yet, but I'm ready to see when that first matchup is with OSU. Watch out for Missouri.
This is a good point. Missouri is on the up and up.
Are they?
Yes.
My
My
recruiting class.
My in-laws live in Columbia and know some people, and they've said the same thing. That who was it that said that James? They have echoed those same thoughts.
Really?
It's a good place to play. It's a good place to play softball too.
I think Bedlam's in Norman this year too.
Hey, maybe we get Nebraska in the regional. Hey, can you imagine just OU Nebraska in the postseason? It's going to be wild if that happens.
Dude, we would have to take.
I don't know if Nebraska. I don't know if they.
I don't think they have the bats.
They don't have the sticks.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Guys, I think that we're gonna have to take a Sooner Surge trip down to Norman for a game this year, though, at Love's Field.
Yep.
Super excited about Love's Field. Guys, you know what else is going to be up and up is Patty Gasso's statue. Let's hope it looks better than the Baker Mayfield one from was it Baker's that was so bad?
Yeah,
so bad.
Yeah.
They also didn't do a great job on the Kyler Murray one either.
Oh, I like
it. Was better.
Kyler's
Kyler's is better.
Yeah, but it still isn't.
Hey, what program has a statue for softball outside of OU? There are none.
There are none.
It's ridiculous, dude. The GOAT, Patty Gasso.
Most teams don't even have football statues. OU's got a freaking softball statue.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Unbelievable. Well deserved.
How many going? Oh, Jim's going to the Battle Series.
Nice, Jim.
Let's go,
Man,
Jim.
I wish I could get down there Wednesday night. I won't be able to make it this week, but I'm excited.
I'll
watch it on ESPN Plus, guys. Make sure you tune in to ESPN Plus. It is going to be shown on there if you have ESPN Plus. I know a lot of us hate ESPN Plus, but it is good for stuff when you can't get it on regular TV.
Puerto Vallarta is going to be on Flow softball. You got to get Flow for that one.
Oh, is that what they announced?
I'm not gonna pay for Flow. I'll just have.
I'm pretty sure I saw Flow for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
every single year.
If you did have tickets to the first Battle Series that was canceled and postponed, you had two options there. You could call the university. You could get tickets to a different Battle Series, or you could be fully refunded your money. So if anyone's on here curious and had not heard, there's some info for you. But yeah, we'll keep it going here. Keep the comments coming. We do have our supers turned on. We're here to provide
good question.
Sooner softball.
I've wondered this too, how they're going to be picked on the teams for the battle series.
Yeah, they're definitely not. It'd be so cool to do like a draft. They don't do that.
No, yeah. That'd be really cool.
We'll be watching the battle series for sure. Hey, and also make sure you're subscribed, because on the battle series and anything throughout the year, I mean, we try to provide updates on every sport. We got a basketball. I mean, we're going to be fully into basketball, gymnastics, whatever it is, we'll be covering it. But specifically on the battle series, we'll be doing post-game lives after the games and later that night to talk about it. We'll also have videos coming out before it. So we'll have all the information you need. So please subscribe. You won't be disappointed, that's for sure.
Yep. So we're at 36 minutes. We'll go for a few more minutes, guys, if you guys want to keep some comments rolling here. But yeah, 2 days away. The rest of the season schedule should be dropped pretty soon.
Yeah.
I would think you got the 2 tournaments early. I saw this today as well.
Hey,
OU men's golf beating Texas.
That's another guy, though.
Hibble's great, guys.
Hey, Joe Castiglione. How many great coaches can the dude hire? I mean, hey, and the guy had the picture of the week, Joe Castiglione, with Lana Del Rey. You see that picture?
I didn't see it.
Oh, he had a picture with his red tie on.
Yeah.
The red tie is from one of her lyrics. I mean, it was a great photo. Is UCLA falling out? What would your thoughts be on that, guys?
My thoughts are they seem to be falling out. It seems to be that way. Like I don't know what else to say about it, but they're not what they used to be. They OU's got several commits from the state of California, and you look at who their other option was and offers they were looking at, it was UCLA, and OU's beating them out. At some point, if you can't land those, it's going to affect you. Old school. Ken, are you saying that UCLA is old school, old game?
Maybe they're not changing with the times, man. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah, kind of like Clemson football, man. They're just not adapting.
Yeah. Faith and love.
Yeah.
And you heard from Kelly Maxwell, guys. He does say yes. Kelly Maxwell, when she was asked about, why on earth would you leave OSU where you've gone your whole career and you've been maybe the best pitcher they've had, and then go to the rival? And if you heard her comments, it was about wanting to have the love for the game again. She didn't have it there. It wasn't nurtured there. Guess where it will be nurtured? OU. She knows that. She's gonna pitch so freely this year, being in a place where she's loved, where she's encouraged, where not only loved and encouraged, but also pushed to be her best.
Yeah,
that's why OU's different.
Yeah, Fing, are you talking about this coming season they have the number 1, or are you talking about the next?
Thought OU doesn't.
Audrey Lowry is coming in for OU in 24, and then 25 they got Sophia Bordy, who's the number 1. Are you talking about this coming season or 24?
He may be talking about the one for this year.
Mark, hey, what about this, guys? He wonders if Lilia will be in the transfer portal. What do you think about Lilia this year? Is she going to get more playing time, or is she kind of – I've wondered about her too.
I don't know.
She did get some pinch hit opportunities. I honestly see that's where she's at right now. That's interesting.
You think she'll just be passed up?
Fisher's 2025. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming in 2025, so that's the 2024 class. I think they're on rankings. Maybe it was Audrey and Fisher were kind of mixed on rankings. Maybe depends on what you look at. I think the main.
Mark brought up
the
Lilia.
main rankings in softball again?
Yeah. Yeah, and he brings up Malloy too. I was wondering if OU was going to get the UCLA Malloy out of the portal. You know what I mean? Because her sister's going to OU, but I mean out of Tennessee.
Well, yeah.
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 What's the real reason? Here we go. What's the real reason Jordy left? Not buying homesick. Now,
I'm gonna buy
here's
it.
the deal. I'll answer that one first. I think it was a combination. I think it was a combination of homesick, and also I think she loves the state of Nebraska, and I think she wants to see if she can catapult them to have a great program and be the person that helps them get back on track. I mean, what else was she going to do at OU? Let's just be honest. I mean, win another natty. But last season, she did everything she could do, right? I mean, boyfriend Ken says, I mean,
Fang. Also, yeah. Thank you, Fang, for the comment earlier about it was extra inning softball is the one I was thinking of, and the other one I don't know if they had Fisher and Lowry ranked exactly the same in both of those. If I'm thinking right, maybe I'll have to look at that. But yeah, extra inning softball is the one I was thinking out. And someone said Q is maybe happy with the part-time role. Maybe that's definitely a possibility. I mean, the culture there is great. So
hey, the incoming players are so good. It's going to be tough if it's going to be tough for somebody to beat some of these incoming players out. You know what I mean? I just think they're so good. Their recruiting classes are so good the next few years, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on the designated hitter.
Yeah, it is. Do you see them using? Do you think they use Hansen there some to get the other catcher some work?
That's what I was saying earlier. I think Hansen's going to play some DH to get some other catcher some action because they're going to need it for the next year. You got to do that with a couple of these players. This is great. Jay, I remember under Kelvin Sampson, and Braden and Jackson probably don't even know who Kelvin Sampson is.
Yes, I do.
Well, he still coaches, but maybe not at OU. But he was so big on roles, and you look at the greatest teams. Who was it that said that? It was Fang. You look at the greatest teams of all time, and I can go greatest team in any sport, and I can tell you who those role players were, and usually those role players were significant parts of why those teams won championship. Robert Ory. I mean, that's what he was. Derek Fisher. You're talking basketball, and those. I mean, you can go to any sport and say it. That you got to have them.
This is a great point too. And talking about Hansen, and let's just ask the viewers this. I'd love to hear their opinions. Who is the one player OU can't afford to lose?
I think it's Hansen 1 and maybe Coleman 1A.
I think Coleman's right there as well. Yeah, I agree. For a motivational and everything.
I'm going to go Hansen 1, Coleman 1A, and Jennings 1AA, and then Riley Boone 1AAA. And then, I mean, that's how you got to do it.
And then Alyssa Brito 1AAAA, and then you could keep going on and on and on.
Hey, here's the thing. You can lose pitchers because you got so many.
Well, I do think you be careful what you say there.
Yeah, I do think the pitcher you can't lose is Nicole
May.
I think it's more Kelly Maxwell.
I just think Nicole May, man, she's been there so long, and I just think I look for her to have her best year, even better than last year, and be the leader of this staff. I really do. I think she's going to take the next step.
How shocked would you guys be on a scale of 1 to 10 if Kirsten deals the ace by the end of the season?
I'd be absolutely shocked.
I actually would not be shocked because she is elite talent wise, and I just don't think Gasso is going to go with an ace. That's why I would be shocked. I think Gasso's going with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, B. Mosier is right on. He's got the best answer. None of them. Yes, Rocha is so underrated, dude.
Hey, you know what? Remember when we talked to I think it was SJ on the show. She came on the show, and she talked about Rocha and how she was working with Rocha all year as far as like preparing the other pitchers for the pitches and stuff. Do you remember her talking about that? And how, I mean, that's going to help her game tremendously too for next year. I mean, she is so good. Which pitcher of the 6 will transfer?
I hope none.
I
No.
don't think I wouldn't say SJ at all. I think the culture thing, and I don't think any of them will. Here's the deal. You got Maxwell and May after this year are gone,
Keeney,
and Keeney. So that's 3
Keeney.
gone.
3 gone.
And they only have Lowry coming in next year. It's 25 when they got a bunch coming in.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see.
Now, redshirting could be a possibility for one.
Yeah.
That would be a possibility. I can't
I
believe
would
no one
say-
is. I can't believe no one's tried to hire Roach away either, Fang.
Oh, I'm sure that teams have, but she just told them.
Yeah,
no.
3 seniors on the pitching staff. We lose really, I think, about 10 total.
Yeah.
He thinks we will take a pitcher out of the portal next year to get back to 5. Here's what I kind of see in the in Patty Gasso's kind of thinking over the last few years. She used to, I mean, remember Hope Troutwayne and the lefty Juarez and Page.
Gabrielle Juarez, yeah.
And Page. She used to have like one just pitcher that would be a workhorse, right?
Mhm.
And she's kind of evolved now where she likes the multiple pitchers. And I think Fang is dead on. I think they got 6 this year. I think this is going to be the new normal for Patty Gasso and OU to have at least 4 or 5 pitchers that they can throw. And whoever gets hot maybe at the end of the year, that's who they ride with more in the postseason.
And this is where I think that, and I would like to see the salaries. They both need a pay raise. I don't care what it is. You can't lose them. And one of those will be the coach in waiting. I look for that maybe to be JT. But going back to Patty Gasso, she has constantly, as it gets into the World Series, she goes with one that she's got the gut feeling that's kind of the hottest. Listen, one difference in Patty Gasso, and when you compare her with the greats, maybe even some greats in OU football lore, she is not loyal to the fault. You guys hear me out here?
Yeah.
She is very loyal, but she is not loyal to the fault. In other words, when it comes push to shove, she's going to make the decision because that's what leaders do. She's not worried about hurting people's feelings because their feelings aren't going to get hurt because of the culture she's created. And she doesn't just stick someone there and say, I'm going to ride with you because, I don't want to ruffle feathers. I can't compare anyone to Patty Gasso. I just can't. It would do a disservice to her.
Here, Fang's got that. Fang's full of information. Love
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. 222 and 192. Who do you think will be the ace?
Trade that by about 500,000 each.
Hey, I said earlier, Nicole May. What do you guys think? What do you think? You think in the end it'll be Maxwell? And let me say something about Nicole May. And you guys know it here. I've kind of been not a Nicole May. I've been a supporter, but I've been saying for a few years that I just don't think in the postseason she performs that well. And that's been my biggest complaint about her is she looks great in the regular season. In the postseason, she'll have a bad outing. That's been my biggest thing.
Okay,
but I do think she's going to step up. I think
let's be careful because a bad outing was still a really great outing.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at. It's like this team is, and Tone Loc does say Nicole May struggles in big games.
That's what I'm saying.
Said, Jay. But the struggling, again, we'll have to take that, I guess.
Honestly, a lot of the struggling that you see if you go back and watch the game is walks. It's more of the walks than the hits. So she gives up the free bases more than just like the 3-run home run or anything like that. It's just her ability to maybe just get too worried about having something get hit out of the park or hit for hard contact than just trying to pitch to her game. And I think actually last year in the World Series, she gave up was it a home run to Stanford maybe?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then, she pitched for a while more in that game, and she played phenomenal.
Well, what Jim says here is pretty spot on. When her ball's moving, she is almost untouchable. Her problem a lot of times, at least 2 years ago, was control.
Yeah.
She
and
fixed that last year. She fixed that a little better last year. She had
here's
less
the
walks,
thing,
I believe.
you were talking about her ball when it moves, it's untouchable. But what she doesn't have compared to the really greats is the velocity. She doesn't have the velocity. She's more. I would compare her to baseball terms of like when the Braves' great pitching staff.
Avery, Maddox, Glavin, those
Yeah,
guys.
somebody that can kind of hit her spots, but she's not going to come over there and overpower you, maybe like a Smoltz or somebody like that.
And how about Roger Clemens? Jordy Ball was Roger Clemens, if we're going to use that analogy.
I mean, to me, it's just incredible.
Yeah, what Fang says here is this what I'm talking about too on control, Fang. It wasn't that she was maybe walking a lot, but you're right. When you got a hitter down in the count, you can't be throwing things at the belt buckle right down the middle. And, Mr. Spot, I guess you could say Mr. Spots a little bit would be. And we know the game, as all sports, it's a game of inches. And when you make a mistake against elite hitters, that's what happens. And we see it all the time with OU hitters. You can't make a single mistake against them because they're going to spray the ball all across the field.
Yeah, y'all talked about Deal earlier. I think y'all are really high on Deal, aren't you?
I'm very high on Kirsten Deal. I am very high on Kirsten Deal. Deal or no deal, I'm taking Deal.
So you don't think they'll use her more in a kind of a closer role?
No, I don't think so.
I think that
who gets the most innings this year?
Maxwell.
I think this is going to be pitcher by committee, guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying who gets the most innings?
Maxwell. That's my money.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
I would still say May, but what Fang again says here is when Fang said that Patty talking about Deal reaching a new level, like we know Patty, if she sees something, she's going to be quick to say it and use it. So if Kirsten Deal is elite, she's going to pitch more.
Here's the deal. Let me just throw an analogy out there. Here's the deal. She played last year. She didn't have to play. Patty played her even in key moments. So Patty does know something, and Patty knows that she's going to be a really good
That's the most
pitcher.
Understatement. Patty knows something. Thanks, Jay.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's because she is that clutch gene in her.
She may be. It may go Maxwell, May, Deal. That may be your top three pitchers.
And again, like it said here,
you got Keeney. Keeney's pretty good.
When you get to the postseason, things will change probably. But getting to the postseason, most innings, I think it'll be kind of spread out.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Fang says 100 for each, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Gasso, she has really done a great job. And look, people will argue this. We know next season, not this season coming up, next season is going to be probably her toughest as far as choosing who's playing what position. I mean, it's pretty set this year, but the development of talent under this group, if you don't develop them this year, you're going to maybe have some issues the following year. They've got to play this year. These young ladies have to play this season some time so that they're ready. They've been led by the best in Patty Gasso and the seniors. You've got the best leaders out there. Now you just got to kind of put it into action.
Deal may very well be the ace when May and Maxwell leave.
Oh, no question.
No question.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, what do y'all think about Carly Keeney, guys?
She's a good pitcher.
I mean, she played pretty well against UCLA last year, did she not?
Yeah, she did.
No, I haven't really watched a ton of her games, so I can't really give like a full
She's a veteran
analysis, but I know she has experience. And she's someone that's kind of proven, and so like you kind of know what you're going to get from her. And I think with Patty Gasso knowing who she is already at this point in her career will help Gasso to put her in the spots best to succeed because of like really just who she knows she is as a player up to this
Well,
point.
they didn't bring her in to sit. I know that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And
She's gonna
hey,
play.
just like this comment on the screen, guys. Last year, I mean, they had so many hitters. It's rare. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of the accolades, maybe, but you are going to get the one accolade that you want the most, which is another ring. Yeah. So her injury in the fall going to be a setback. I think most midweek games start at least. Yeah, and how that works, it's interesting with the midweek games, and I can't wait, guys. It's exciting. The fall battle series is here. We've been going about an hour, so we're going to end this. But tell us what you think of these YouTube lives. We'd love to have these once a week for sure until the season. And once the season gets here, ramp it up even more. Like it, comment, drop us a super. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the comments. We tried to show as many as we could up on the screen. We appreciate it. Your feedback. You guys are very knowledgeable of Sooner softball, and we appreciate it. Love to talk Sooner softball with you. Till next time, boys. Boomer.
Boomer.